It's time for the UNC Duke Showdown, round one. But we also going to discuss, is it the hot seat? Is it hot seat time for Coach Hubert Davis? We're going to talk about it, though, on 94 feet of UNC.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
Swicker with the defense and the rebound. That's a good effort by Swicker.
Stackhouse streaking in on Parks. Rebound dunk is good, and he gets fouled by Parks. Oh my goodness, what a dunk by Stackhouse.
I just think that he brought him back so quickly, but you know what? They're down 8. In fairness, you can't teach that. You can't teach that. You can't teach that high-rising ability. 3. And Green rips down the rebound in traffic. 4-on-1. Great job. What a terrific job in transition. I mean, you could.
The glass no good. Rebound followed by Hansgrove. Good! Carolina.
Inside 30 overall. Love, top of the key.
Alice about this over. Carolina. The Tar Heels have won the national championship.
And that is it. There is a new team in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title. Have been any final. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. And this year, the confetti is going to fall to North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's up, everybody? It is January 31st. You are tuned in to the 94 feet of UNC podcast. I'm your guy, Linzel Graham. We tuned in and locked in today, man. Today we're gonna discuss, some the round one of the UNC Duke Showdown, of course. We just gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a crazy game or whatever, as they always are, because that's what the rivalry is about. But we also gonna discuss another topic that's just been circulating around the media world and college basketball world, I guess you could say. And everybody knows what that topic is, of course. Is it hot seat? Is it the hot seat for Hubert Davis? But we're going to discuss all of that or whatever. Listen, I appreciate all the love and support from everybody, man. I know I've been away for a minute, but listen, nothing has changed. We still here. We still locked in. It is what it is or whatever, just putting some things in place, or whatever, and kind of just locking in, doing some things behind the scenes, getting some other things kind of set up, because we got some big things coming up with under the network, of course. So some other shows, some things like that or whatever. So just been behind the scenes a little bit, just working on some things, you know what I'm saying? So, but we locked in, man. We locked in, and we not we here. You know what I'm saying? So we here. But I appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Do me a favor, y'all. Listen, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is or whatever. And like I said, just keep pushing that support. I appreciate it. I'm grateful of it, and love all you guys out there, man. Big shout out to you guys or whatever. We do have some 94 feet of UNC merchandise that's coming soon. So just be on the lookout for that, of course. Like I said, just working on some things behind the scenes. That's the reason why we haven't been doing some shows here lately. Just working on some things, y'all. Like I promise y'all, some big things is coming. For those that are tuned in on Instagram, I appreciate everybody tuned in right now on Instagram Live, rather, or whatever. But hey, we also live on YouTube if y'all want to come on over or whatever. The first topic on speaking to the people, for you YouTubers right now, speaking to the people on Instagram. If you're on Instagram right now, listen, we're going to discuss the first topic, which is the Duke UNC showdown that's going to be happening here soon. But for the second topic or whatever, I'm gonna end the live stream on Instagram or whatever. So make sure that y'all jump right over to the YouTube stream, jump in the comments or whatever. I greatly appreciate it. I'll try to answer some questions if need be, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all y'all or whatever for chiming in, tuning in, whatever the case may be. Or if you just want to come on over to YouTube now, that's totally fine as well. You can jump in the comments, make it a little easier for me so I don't have to bounce back and forth or whatever. But of course, I'm gonna be mainly talking to the YouTube audience. So but appreciate everybody for tuning and chiming in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So listen, let's get into these topics, y'all. Let's get into these topics. All right. Oh, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? At 94 feet of UNC. Completely forgot about that. I know a lot of people are also asking about like a lot of the special guests, things like that. Listen, the special guests are coming. Just putting some things in place or whatever. Schedules are right now conflicting with each other, but we're gonna make some things happen. I promise everybody the special guest interviews and things like that. And y'all want to hear from some of y'all favorite UNC legends, alumni players, people on the staff, whatever the case may be. I promise y'all the interviews are coming. Just working on some schedules and things like that so that we can make it happen so that I can get it out to everybody. So with that being said, let me jump into the first topic, of course, or whatever, which is the big one or whatever. UNC and Duke, the showdown, round one, the battle of the blues. It's going down tomorrow at 6:30 at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Tough game for us. Comes at the wrong time. I will be honest about that because of the fact that we as a team, we've been struggling a little bit. I'm sure, I mean, that's not anybody that's blind can even see that. Like we've been struggling, you know what I'm saying? So my thoughts on this game. Before I get into it, and I do want to say this, which is going to lead right into it and everything. Big shout out to the guys over at 5 Point Play Podcast. That's a Duke podcast. Big shout out to all of them guys over there. TK, Jack, Pablo, AC, D the Duke fan. You know what I'm saying? Much love to them guys over there, man. I appreciate them guys. We actually did a show. Me and a couple of other guys did a show with them 2 days ago or whatever, previewing the Duke UNC game. And of course, you know, we had to take what we had to take. We took everything on the chin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, but it's the game. That's the nature of the game or whatever. But big shout out to them guys, man. If you get a chance, make sure y'all go over to YouTube, check out that podcast, that episode. Once again, it's 5 Point Play Podcast. Big shout out to them guys over there, man. We had a good time. Appreciate them guys for always having me on. It's nothing but love for sure. Even though we are rivals or whatever, but big shout out to them, man, for sure. But let's get into this Duke and UNC thing, right? Duke and UNC, of course, everybody knows right now, Duke, number 2 team in the country, playing exceptionally well right now. Duke is a big team, 6'5". Nobody on the team is under 6'5". And I mean, they play great defense. They got a lot of height. They got a lot of players. I mean, that can give it to you at any given moment, I guess you could say, or that can light it up any given moment. You know what I'm saying? From the floor or whatever. So they are coming into this game, man. Of course, nobody right now has UNC picked to win it. And rightfully so, because of the fact that we just haven't been playing well, everybody. Like we have not been playing well. It's been a tough year for us. Missing the presence of a big man. Lack of closing out halves or games for that matter. And we just haven't been playing collectively as a team, I guess you could say. As far as my thoughts when it comes to that, I would say when you don't have the chemistry, I guess you could say, on the court, but amongst each other, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. You're going to have it's going to be a lot of off nights. And one thing that Coach Davis has pointed out or whatever, that, and it kind of reverts all the way back to the Dean Smith era. Dean Smith's, one of his quotes was, listen, when you don't play for me, you got to play for we. And right now it's a lot of that going on the bench, throughout the team. There's a lot of me going on. Anybody can see that. Some of the guys look disengaged. They look uninterested. They look like they tapped out for the season. But again, they may we've seen this before. They've been able to kind of turn it around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So been able to kind of turn things around a little bit. But again, you got to work collectively as a team. I don't put all of the blame on Hubert. I don't. I would say, as a matter of fact, my thing, and I as Jacob Turner from Tar Heel Illustrated always says, it's not all the coach's fault, but it is the coach's responsibility. I totally agree with that. I think that it's Hubert's responsibility to get the guys engaged and pretty much kind of following and listening to the things that he says for them to be successful. But however, it's not all of his fault. You have to put some fault on the players. As much as we love the players, we as Carolina fans, we're spoiled. Like, we are totally spoiled, and rightfully so. Our expectations are extremely high, rightfully so, as they are every year. We believe, and we always want a national championship every year. But again, that comes from the history, from what the university has given us as fans, right? So yes, I agree with that. We are spoiled. We should be spoiled. But however, at the same time, you have to be realistic about things. You really do. You really do. Once again, I do not think that it's Coach Davis's fault, because he's not suiting up. He's not, he's not out there on the floor, kind of jumping in or whatever, making jump shots, driving to the basket, things like that, passing, bringing the ball up the court. He's not doing that. The players are. So at some point, you have to put some fault on the players as well. And that goes back to my point, to where I say some of the players look disengaged. They look uninterested. And to be honest with you, it looks like it could be a lot of me ball going on instead of we ball going on. So how do you change that? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Nobody is vocal on the team. Like, we've had what do I want to say? We have had it's hard for me to say. We've had some vocal guys, edgy guys, gritty guys on this team. Harrison Ingram, Cormac Ryan, even Armando to a certain extent, right? We've had, you go back, Brady Manick, very vocal on the team, kicking over coolers at the end of the bench. Like, we've had this, right? So we don't have that this year. We don't have nobody that's vocal, somebody that's just going to put their foot in somebody's butt or tail, whatever, because y'all know we want to keep things clean on here, right? But we don't have nobody to do that and to point fingers and hold the other guys accountable. So what does that do? It could cause some disruption. It could cause some. Well, disruption would probably be the biggest key, biggest word. It could cause lack of confidence. It could cause again, it could go back to the me ball instead of the we ball. Like it really could. So again, the Duke UNC rivalry, it is what it is. The games are always close most of the time, more than not. They're always close, and no matter what when it comes to a Duke and UNC game, no matter what, they always live up to the hype. Always. I remember there's been several years and several seasons where Duke was top 5. North Carolina might have been the lowest of the top 25, or they might not even been ranked, and vice versa. But guess what? Those games was extremely close. Like one, not too long ago, a few years ago, I think that was the Cole Anthony year where they wore the big D and the big NC on the front of the jerseys. If I'm not mistaken, North Carolina wasn't ranked that season or that year, I guess you could say. But that game against Duke and Chapel Hill went into 2 overtimes. I mean, it was just a bad team, right? So look at it that on the positive side of things. Look at that as a positive, I guess you could say. Also, you got to also make sure that you look at refereeing officials. There are some officials out there that Duke fans and everything claim don't like Duke. However, there are some out there that don't like Carolina. What ends up happening, if you haven't noticed, and if you look at some of these games, a lot of times, if one team is dominant, then a lot of the times the referees will do their best to call ticky-tack fouls, things like that or whatever, to take that player out so that the game now is a little bit more evenly matched if one team is more dominant than the other. That's happened not just in UNC and Duke, but it's happened in a lot of games, like throughout college basketball. It has happened. I mean, that's just what it is. That's the nature of the business. That's how it goes, I guess. And that could be a positive for North Carolina as well. Carolina being so small against Duke could draw a lot of fouls. That could get some people in foul trouble. So, I mean, you can also look at those things as a positive. As far as the negative things, North Carolina is just small. We're just not playing good. We're not playing well at all. We're not playing well at all. This and let me be clear. This is a really good team. They just lack some things. And when they can't close out, they're lacking on defense. They don't have any post presence. I would say that we are on a semi level as far as scoring, because we can put points up on the board, but without the post presence, like a lot of that is relying on the guards, who I think RJ not having a good season, Elliott not living, I guess you could say, living up to the expectations that we thought he was going to have this season. Seth has kind of taken a downshift. And a lot of people say that it's been since the concussion. I don't think it's from the concussion. I think Seth was kind of spiraling down a few games before the concussion. But then you got Ian Jackson, who's past few games hasn't really been that dominant Ian Jackson that we've seen in previous games where he was scoring 20 plus points. Like what, 4 or 5 games or something like that. So what do? You're lacking in scoring. You're lacking in scoring. And it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm hoping UNC does prevail, of course. I'm going to always be optimistic, but at the same time, like I tell y'all, I'm a realist. I keep it real, and I'm not delusional. So it is going to be a tough game. I think North Carolina has to play a perfect game just to even compete, just because of Duke's size and height and scoring ability and defense. Duke is just they're dominant. In so many different positions, they are extremely dominant, and it's going to be tough. And if Duke goes big, the way that they always say, to beat a big team, you go fast. But the problem is Duke is athletic. They got some athletes on the team as well that can also go fast. And it's just going to be a tough matchup. Like I've said before, this game just comes at the wrong time. Just because the expectations, we're just not having that good of a season like we expected and like we thought what was gonna happen. We just gotta wait and see. Once again, that game is tomorrow at 6:30, Cameron Indoor Stadium. You already know what that environment is like. Carolina is gonna be in the building, and let's not forget. Which is and this is probably the part that bothers me the most out of anything. Last season in Cameron Indoor Stadium, when Carolina went in there and won that game, the Cormac Ryan game, hit 31 points. Everybody remember what happened at the end of the game when the whole UNC bench went over to the crowd. The crowd, they waving at the crowd, things like that. Crowd throwing gumballs, throwing ice, all of that stuff. But not to mention, that's not the part that really bothers me, but it does a little bit. But let's not forget also, Cooper Flagg was in the building. And I don't know how that set with him mentally. And of course, Cooper's going to be looking for get back. He's going to be looking for get back. And that's the part that bothers me and makes me extremely nervous, I guess you could say. I don't care about the game and all of that and stuff. It is what it is. You have to expect the best, but you have to expect the worst as well, just because of the way that the team has been playing this season. So you have to expect that. So it's gonna be tough. But go Heels. If y'all want me to give a scoring prediction, so I gave a different prediction on the 5 Point Play podcast. I'm gonna retract that prediction, and I'm gonna go with 78-73 UNC. For some reason, even when Carolina's not playing well throughout the season, they always show up and somebody ends up having a crazy game. And it's always some standout player that comes in and it's like, oh, we might actually have a chance really in this game. Look at what Cormac did last year. None of us expected, because of the way that Cormac was a streaky shooter last season and wasn't shooting that well going into the Duke game. Nobody expected Cormac to have that game in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Nobody did. There's not one North Carolina player or one North Carolina fan that can tell me that they expected Cormac to have a big game, whatever the case may be. Nobody can tell me that they expected that. So we got to wait and see. So I'm here. I'm looking at my Instagram live, man. I'm here. I'm looking at the live or whatever. I see some people's in the building. Graham, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, y'all come on over to YouTube, man. Jump in the chat. Jump in the chat for sure. Like, come on over to the YouTube 94 feet of UNC, man. We are actually live right now because we got one more topic that we got to get into, and I don't know if I want that to be on live, on Instagram live or whatever. I prefer to give that to my YouTubers, I guess you could say, or whatever. So come on over to YouTube, man. I give y'all a few minutes, man, to come on over, jump in the chat, let me know that you're here, and we can discuss some things. I can answer some questions, read some comments, things like that or whatever. Would love for y'all to come on over, man, and like I said, man, jump in the chat, man. Throw some chats out there, throw some questions at me, because this next topic is it's a touchy topic. So of course, but of course I'm gonna give my opinion. But at the same time, there may be a few people that I may end up calling out, and it's nothing against them, but it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I mean, we just got to call it for what it is. We got to call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just one of those type of guys. Like, I'm not up here trying to do any pod beefs and things like that. No, I don't do that over here. I don't do that over here. But at the same time, I mean, I can voice my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's on Instagram Live, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come on over to YouTube. Chime in. We are actually live on YouTube right now, along with being live on Instagram. I'll stay on for a little bit more as I get into this next topic, but I'm gonna cut the Instagram live here in a little bit. So y'all come on over, man, so that y'all don't miss the next topic as far as the full conversation, things like that, because I want to know you all's thoughts. I want to know you guys' thoughts for sure. So come on over to YouTube, and like I said, at 94 feet of UNC, come on over, jump in the chat, say hello. Let me know that you're in the building. If you got any questions, things like that, then we gonna be in the building. I already see someone in the building already. My guy Graham Bunn is in the building, y'all. As a matter of fact, I should bring Graham up if he has time or whatever. Graham, as a matter of fact, send me your text me your email, my guy, and I'll send you the link, man. So if you want to chime in and jump on for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Send me your text it to me though. Text it to me. Like, you got the number. So yeah, text it to me, and I'll send you the link. If you want to jump on, my guy, for sure. Like, it's always good to talk with Graham, man. We talked yesterday. Graham doing this thing, man, out there in California. Listen, Graham, I hope everything is good though, for sure, man, out there in Cali. With the wildfires and stuff going on, man. Like, we anything that we can do, like, let us know for sure. Let us know. But yeah, man, anybody on Instagram Live, come on over, man. So let's jump into this topic real quick. Let's jump into this next topic. The next topic, which is the one that's just been going around for so long, man. And I'm here to say that enough is enough. Enough is enough. Is Hubert Davis on the hot seat? So much that I want to say. So much that I want to say. But of course, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to be careful with some things. All right? So, is Hubert Davis on the hot seat? Okay, y'all, give me 1 second. I got to send this. This email right quick. Let's see what we got here. And that is sent. Graham, it is sent, my guy. It is sent. Once again, man, y'all come on over, man. Me and Graham, we getting ready to really chop it up, man. We get ready to really chop it up, man. He should be on here in a second or whatever. So y'all come over to YouTube, man. Come on over to YouTube, 94 feet of UNC. Get in the chat because me and Graham gonna chop it up. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we're gonna chop it up, man, for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So for sure. Okay, looking forward to my guy jumping on here, man. Let's see what he got going on, man. For sure. But yeah, is Hubert Davis on the hot seat? For those out there that think Hubert Davis is on the hot seat, let me go ahead and tell you now. No, he's not. He is not on the hot seat. At least not yet. At least not yet. I got Graham in the building, y'all. I got Graham in the building. Uh-oh.
Let's go. Let's go.
We in the building. Hey, listen. Hey, Graham, I tell you what, listen. To do something really unique and really good here, if you go on because I got the volume turned down on IG. So if you go on IG and send me another request on the live, then we could do the live on both. It could pop up on both of our channels here, man. And we could do this like on YouTube live and on IG live if you want to. That's if you want to, though. But
hey, I'm getting both of them right now, so I got to figure that out because I'm.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing a crazy delay.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I tell you what. So. Did you turn the volume down on turn the volume down on IG?
On IG. I'm gonna try to close out Instagram.
Yeah, that'll work too. If you turn off the IG and then come back in, but then turn your phone volume down. That way you won't get the feedback and you won't have a delay. Right. You'll just get the delay here. And then I can that way the fans can get it on both sides, man. Since you here now, like you here now, you in the building, like you know what I'm saying. Like we gotta listen. We're gonna actually do a show for sure. I have not forgot about you. If you remember, Graham, I just want to know: do you remember when I texted you a long time ago and I was like, "Yo, any advice and things like that you could give a guy?" And you know,
man, I'm so sorry, but like I'm hearing like a 30-second delay on top of the live. So like I'm hearing you twice. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna leave the room and come back in.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man, we got Graham in the building, man. Graham is definitely in the building here. Let's try and add him back real quick. How that sound?
Now I'm hearing myself talk about the 30-second delay.
Is that on the computer or that's on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on the computer right now. I turned my phone off.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Weird.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. Graham is in the building, man. This is my guy right here, y'all. You know, for those that know, y'all know Graham is a country music artist. Big time country music artist, but he's a big, huge Tar Heel fan. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, great. That's my guy right there, man. Make sure y'all go and check out some of his music and all of that. He's out in Cali or whatever. JC Big Saw, what's good, my guy? What's good? We in the building. We in the building for sure. Listen, y'all come on over, man. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube, man. Like me and Graham, we getting ready to really chop it up. You know. Yeah, he actually did, JC. He actually did. Look at you knowing your history. Look at you knowing your history. Yeah, man. Graham did play some D1 basketball. He did play D1 basketball, like for sure. I actually forgot about that. But yeah, man. Yeah. But Yeah, everybody on Instagram Live, come over to YouTube, jump in the chat, let us know that you here, everything, man. Like because me and Graham gonna chop it up. The biggest we're gonna discuss this big topic that everybody has been talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna discuss this big topic about is Hubert Davis on the hot seat? Like this is the big topic, but waiting on my guy Graham to come back in. But I'm gonna go ahead and start this off and say this, like I told y'all just a second ago. Hubert Davis is not on the hot seat. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So I just want everybody to understand that. You have to understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not going anywhere at all. I'm feeling about tomorrow. Does that pop up? Oh, there we go. I got a feeling about tomorrow. I think those freshmen at Duke are going to struggle a little, and we will play free. That's a good point, JC. That's a good point, dog. Like that could be a factor. That factor could play in, like, for sure. Factor could play in. These are YouTube comments, so y'all come on over, man. Y'all come on over. Like, jump in the chat, converse with each other, converse with me, converse with Graham whenever he comes back. Like, y'all come on over for sure. Y'all come on over for sure, man. Let's see, what else JC say? JC said, what I want from Hubert is to start getting in the players. I got you, JC. I got you. I got you, JC, on the bench when they don't want to play defense and don't want to do right. That's a big, big fact. Like, Roy would put you on the bench. Roy would sit you down, put you on the bench. Y'all know Roy would take out all the starters. He would take out all the starters, man. Like, he absolutely would. He put in second string. He let them sit there and think about what it is that they're doing. The problem is, if you do that, because some of these guys still lack confidence. They still lack confidence. So if you do that, then what do you? It serves no purpose. Like, it serves no purpose. So, I do agree with that, JC. I do agree with that. But if you, like I said, if you do that, once again, that's not going to really serve any purpose because some of the guys already lack confidence. So if you take them out, they're going to lack more confidence. All right, we got Graham back. Let's see what we could do here. Let's see if how's everything?
Yeah. All right, cool.
Now we here.
So I'm an idiot. That's my bad. I had the live up on another window that I couldn't find. So I was hearing that feedback on top of our live feedback. So we're here. Educate me. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this topic. I did a small conversation about Hubert Davis in the hot seat, and whether you believe he's the guy or not, you have to acknowledge that the conversation being had by a lot of Carolina fans today, tomorrow, and moving forward. But I'm a big fan. I'm gonna push this out. Anyone that follows me, I want them to follow you because you greatly affected the ability to have a good day for me yesterday. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely, my guy. Absolutely. So, listen, and great show, by the way, with you and Zach, dog. Great show.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, we don't know what we're doing. We just love Carolina. We like you got a real show. We're just two guys that just chop it up. So like that means a lot to us because we just messing around with it.
Well, yeah. Listen, man. Like I tell everybody, bro. Like I tell everybody, man. Like before I got started in the whole podcast world, I would sit back and listen to y'all. Isaac Shade at Locked On. Big shout out to my guy Isaac, man.
He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he is. Isaac he's solid peoples, man. Really good peoples. Andrew Jones, Adam Lucas, Jones Angel, Inside Carolina with Sherelle and them. Like I've had the opportunity to build relationships with a lot of these guys, like Sherelle and Isaac and Adam Lucas and people like that. Like I've been fortunate enough to be able to do it, and now I got you on the list. I'm waiting on. I got one more. I'm still waiting on Andrew Jones. Andrew, listen, if you watch this show, listen, I'm got to get you on the show, my guy, for sure. So but as far as everybody else, I've had the opportunity to speak to him. Being able to check you now off the list, but we actually still gonna actually do.
Add me to it. Yeah, I'll get in studio. I do got my Jordan, though. I got my Jordan there. My studio's taken this morning. So we got some stuff going on. I'm going to hop in there a little bit later. But I was like, man, I don't got to start work for a minute. Let me see what's going on in the Carolina world. What's up with the Graham and Graham show right now? I got to get the Graham and Graham show going.
Hey, listen, there we go. Listen, for sure. So I got to say, JC Big Saw.
1v1.
Yeah, exactly. So JC Big Saw in the chat, I'm sure you can see that, but he said, how is your brother-in-law doing?
Oh, he's doing good. I don't see the chat. Maybe go to comments.
Oh,
there we go.
Screen?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's doing good. I love that guy, man. He's one of the smartest dudes on the planet. Obviously, he's a Chapel Hill alum, and we definitely look at the game differently. Obviously, I look at it from a player standpoint and a very, very average player at that. But he looks at it more of like the broad scope of what Carolina basketball in the program has been for years and years and years. And I look at it like, okay, I don't understand why we have elite guards and can't shoot better than 30% from three in this era of basketball. You know what I mean? So like we have different looks at it. Yeah.
So he's a longevity type, and you're in the moment.
I'm in the moment. Yeah, he's playing chess. I'm playing checkers. I'm like, no. I need us to win Saturday.
I got you. Makes sense.
But I appreciate somebody. I appreciate somebody asking about him. Very kind. Very kind.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, it's all family over here, man. When you come to this is the Zell Dome, by the way, Graham. So it's like the Dean Dome, but this is the Zell Dome. So it's all love over here, man. Like Hey,
again. If you sing some merchandise, you just let me know when that goes up.
My man, see, listen, I told y'all that the merch is coming. Listen, Graham is already on board. Like, listen,
I'm in.
Oh yeah, man, it's a done deal. It's a wrap. So, Graham, all right, so let's go back to yesterday. Like,
Talk to me. Yeah,
we'll talk about we'll mention some things from the show that you and Zach did yesterday, but we'll also mention a little bit of the conversation that me and you actually had. So
yeah, would love it. Yeah, let's go.
The big question, of course, that everybody is talking about is Hubert Davis on the hot seat. I want to get your take first for all of the listeners over here, and you explain things to me as far as how you feel about it, and then I can kind of bounce off of that and come back with something.
So I'm really torn because I'm fortunate enough, and I believe that you are too, and a lot of people within the Carolina family that know Hubert on a personal level. And so I don't think you can have a discussion about a leader of young men without first addressing the character of Hubert Davis. Like, I've been told that he is nothing but the greatest human being walking planet Earth. Like, if you wanted, and I think my brother-in-law said this, if you had a son, you would want him to play for a man like Hubert Davis. So that does go into the equation. For me, I think that it would be disingenuous if I didn't say evaluations needed to be had immediately about the direction and corporate structure of the basketball program. Now, obviously, we're doing an overhaul with the football program. I don't think it's up for debate that the basketball, the way the team is structured, maybe the entire staff needs an overhaul, maybe just a piece of it. But those conversations, I would have a hard time debating anybody saying no changes need to be made. So when people say he's on the hot seat, I believe he's on the hot seat in that Carolina basketball will not look the way it looks next year after this season, which in all intents and purposes looks like we're going to miss the tournament for the second time in 4 years. So He's been the head coach for 4 years. We've been on the bubble 3. And for me, we are spoiled. You said it correctly and rightfully so. But spoiled or not, we're not a top 70 program. Like Carolina basketball is not, we don't get up in the mornings and say, man, so good to be 68 right now. We're in the tournament. No. We're a top 25 on a down year, top 40 program. So I think he is on the hot seat in that changes will be made no matter what he does. Now, if he wins Saturday, a lot of this talk from like Field 68 and some of the analysts, I'm very lucky to be very close friends with Jay Williams. He made some comments in the game the other night that kind of drew some attention to leadership within the locker room. I know that you have an opinion on that. So I think he's on the hot seat in that the team and the way the program is structured. They're gonna make some changes in that regard.
Okay, so all right.
All right, yeah. Loosen up. Hey, loosen up. So I threw the jab. Now you come back with the counter. I threw a light jab. You know.
It's all love, my guy. It's all love. Nah, but so this is what I would tell everybody, right? Me personally, because I'm not on the fire Hubert Davis train. I'm just not
right, and that's a great thing. I wish that I was a more mature fan and that like could separate myself from some of the losses that we have where I'm like, we should have gotten that home. We should have gotten that home. Like Roy and Dean would have gotten that home. And not everybody's going to be Roy or Dean. But like out of those 6 games that we lost by 1 possession, you got to get 2 or 3 of those home. You can't lose all 6.
Right. Okay. So
all right, go ahead.
I listened to Andrew Jones and Jacob Turner, like the Tar Heel Illustrated episode that they just put out about the preview of the game, and they mentioned some things as far as Hubert was concerned and stuff like that. Yeah. A lot of people forget that Roy's last 2 seasons were not good seasons.
I don't forget. Yeah, we weren't even in the tournament. COVID saved us.
Right. So, I mean, if you're looking at it from that aspect or whatever, and you want to base things off of the expectations, his last 2 seasons were not typical as far as living up to our expectations and to our standards.
Correct.
What Hubert has done in 4 seasons, to me, is just remarkable and incredible. Now, are there bad things, or I guess you could say, or some negative things that you can kind of pinpoint about it in 4 seasons? Absolutely. Being a bubble team 3 out of the 4 seasons. But in order for that, let's go back to the first year, right? Bubble team.
Yep.
But that team caught fire.
Yeah, and you're right. You got to give them credit for the end of the season. That's part of that equation. You are correct.
Right. So for that team to catch fire, there had to be camaraderie between the players. And it had to do also with good coaching, right? Would you agree?
You know what I think is an underrated component of that run? I think I mentioned it. And again, I don't think maybe you, because obviously you're in the film room watching all these other shows. Is Dawson Garcia leaving the team that year? I think that like really, really galvanized the locker room and like allowed Brady Manick to just play free, knowing that he was not coming off the court. Make or miss, there was nobody subbing in for him. So I think that he became a massive component of that run when his competition for minutes went out the door and went back to Minnesota.
But you know what I think? I think that if that was the case, and don't get me wrong, I agree with what you're saying, but I do believe that if Brady would have ended up still playing the way that he started out, playing or whatever, as far as being that pure dominant shooter and things like that,
man, I
believe Dawson would have went to the bench.
Oh, agreed. I just meant like it happened immediately. I feel like when they, after Christmas, it was like 1 or 2 games, and then Brady didn't look back. Like he caught fire. Now, to your point, maybe he just got comfortable. Guys get comfortable. His role, he solidified, hey, this is what I do. I'm a stretch 4, and I try to play as best the defense as I can, but I'm going to stroke this thing. And it was fun. He became one of my favorite Tar Heels ever, like in the shortest amount of time. I mean, people love Brady Manick now. for like 20 games.
For sure. Like he's like Jesus around Chapel Hill, man. I'm telling you, like it's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, listen, Brady is Brady, but Brady also had grit. He had edge to him. Like I remember him getting so upset that he kicked the cooler over on the end of the bench. Like we don't have that.
He said some stuff in the Baylor game that almost cost us. I think he had like 28, and he was lit. He was lighting them boys up. They're like, "Hey man, you gotta go. You gotta go."
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is with Hubert, his record, all of his accolades that from what he has done for a guy who has never coached as a head coach in 4 seasons is incredible. I mean, a 1 seed, Sweet 16, national championship run, first season, not second or third, but first season, which that team caught fire or whatever, but even though they was on the bubble. But for them to be on the bubble and to catch fire like that had a lot to do with good coaching. Like,
Agreed. Yeah, you can't take that away. Correct. Yeah. I think we would have been, I don't think an 18's ever won the national title. I think 6 is the lowest seed that's ever won. So, I mean, that would have been historic. So I give him all the credit in the world. Now, the problem with that is it's bookended by the next season. You know, it's like preseason number 1 in the country, missed the tournament. Never happened before. That's historically bad. And so, you know, unfortunately that goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, if you're looking at the team this season, then I would relate the team this season more to the team the year after, like you said, the preseason.
Agreed. Yeah. And there seems to be some other stuff that's going on with the team, and who knows? Like, these are kids. You know, I have no idea and would never, ever get in RJ's business with a young lady he was dating. But it was just out in the ethos that there was an issue several years ago within the team. And so, like, you never want kids to have to deal with that, whether it was true or not true. You know what I mean? Because those kids see everything, you know. And I played college basketball. Luckily, because I was, you know, very, very average, but an overachiever, I didn't have to deal with social media. It would have really been challenging to hear people be like, yo, why are we playing this slow ass point guard that was, you know, 2 of 8 from 3? Like, he's trash. If I had to read that, like, in my mind, you know, it's just another component that I have a lot of envy for some of these kids that everything they do, they got to go back and relive it on social media, you know?
Right. So, I mean, I think, and like Andrew and Jacob said, if you get rid of Hubert, because everybody's been talking about Wes Miller being the replacement, no disrespect to anything to Wes Miller, but
no.
If you get rid of Hubert to get Wes Miller, then you might as well keep Hubert.
That's a lateral move. That's a lateral move. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, Hubert to me is the perfect representative for the basketball head coach. He's the perfect representative. Like, I don't see nobody unless it's outside of the family.
Right. Agreed.
So, and which something that I learned that I didn't know is a lot of donors and people like that don't want to have coaches or get coaches out of the family because it's traditional.
Yeah.
It's been going on since Frank McGuire, before Dean Smith. Like it's traditional, and a lot of the donors and everything don't want to mess that up. They want to keep the tradition. So if you're gonna keep it traditional, Hubert is the perfect representative for that. Yeah. Hands down. I don't think Stackhouse would be, no disrespect to him. But and of course, Wes Miller, I don't think he would be. I mean, I think
it'd be great to get Stackhouse involved on some level. It'd be great to get him involved on some level. Yeah.
Yes, totally agree with that. So I think he's the best person and the best representative for the position. However, he's got to make some changes on the staff. He's got to make some changes on the staff. You have to make some staff changes, and because you can rest assured that what he's going through now is it's a learning process to where it's like, you know what? I'm not going through that again. If I love this place, I love the community. This is where I raised my kids. This is where I moved to after I retired. I love Carolina. He keeps things traditional. He wants to, things like that. Then changes got to be made inside. And
well, two things. You don't think he said that after 2022? You don't think he had those questions, man? I don't want to go through this again.
I don't.
We refused the NIT invitation.
And look what happened. Look what happened the previous year. You refused the NIT, but then that gave you the opportunity to jump into the portal early before all of the other teams or whatever, and you picked up Harrison Ingram.
But what I'm saying is these questions that you're saying, you don't think he was asking those same questions that offseason? Like, man, I can't do that again. Like, let's go get some dogs. Okay.
Not in year two.
Okay.
And when you think about it like that, the NIL has changed even more since then.
Correct.
And,
yes.
One thing that I learned listening to Andrew is a lot of guys, because he said it on the show, because this was also a narrative that people was putting out there that UNC was broke, didn't have no money, right?
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
That's not true.
That wasn't the case. And for some reason, people still want to continue to believe that, no matter how many UNC podcasters tell them that's not the case. So what happened is Hubert wants to continue to do things the traditional way. And that's the reason why he said, it's never been a me thing. It's been a we thing, which is a Dean Smith quote, right?
Yeah.
I love
that. Yeah.
Come play for the name that's on the front of the jersey.
Yeah.
Instead of the name on the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
But this day and age, these players, they're not thinking about that. So what happened was in the portal last season, and the reason why we missed out on a lot of people, it wasn't because we didn't have the money, because we had the money, but it's people got to also remember that it's also about fit. Pete Nance was a good player. He didn't fit. He made the NBA.
Yeah.
Like Leaky Black made the NBA without a jumper, without a jump shot. Like,
Leaky was a great fit though.
He was a defender, solid defender. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm with you on that. But my point is, these guys made the NBA, and people were saying like, oh, Pete Nance was trash, things like that. That's not true. He just didn't fit. He didn't fit the system.
Well, sometimes do you feel that Hubert gets unfair criticism because he can't make an NBA player fit on a college basketball team? NBA players are rare, bro. So Pete Nance is an NBA guy. He couldn't figure out a way to get Pete Nance to fit into that team. Like, NBA guys are hard to come by. Like, you got an NBA guy on your roster. That's, a lot of teams don't have multiples. And so to have a player like Pete Nance, do you think it's an unfair reflection on Hubert that he couldn't get more out of an NBA talent? Because he seems like a good kid. Seems like he, it's not like he's like, yo, I'm doing it this way, or I'm not doing it at all,
I think what Hubert was trying to do in year two was he was trying to replicate another Brady Manning, because that's what people was trying to compare Pete Nance to. Like, because Pete Nance was good at Northwestern. Really good. Very good.
All league player.
Yeah, pure shooter,
all Big Ten.
Everything. He just didn't fit the team.
I mean, Cade Tyson was good at Belmont, so
that is true. That is true.
That was an expensive experiment for us.
Yeah, that is true, like, for sure. So I'm not, like I tell people all the time, yeah, these recruits, they might not pop out like people might want them to, getting 4 or 5 of the top 10 players, things like that.
Right.
But this recruiting class that we got coming in next season, I mean, pretty solid recruiting class. Pretty solid. Isaiah Dennis.
Yeah, there's some pieces.
Yeah, some really good pieces. So, I mean, I can't.
How big are those guards? Pause. Are they? Because obviously, I don't think we're going to go the small guard, right? Okay,
right,
well, then go. All right, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Isaiah Dennis is 6'5". Derek Dixon is 6'3".
Okay. Yeah. So good size.
Really good size. Really good size.
Yeah.
There is no small guard lineup or whatever come next season.
We're gonna pay for that this Saturday.
That.
We're gonna pay for that this Saturday. I mean, Duke's the Paul's largest team in basketball. I think for average height of each player. Yeah, wild.
That is true. That is true. So that's the reason why I say I can't get on the fire Hubert Davis train. I just can't.
Hey, I love it. You're talking me off of it, so I appreciate you, man. I don't want to starting over is scary. You know what I mean? But I just can't. For me as a fan, it's just been really challenging. And again, I allow Carolina basketball to have a power over me, and that's not good. I need to grow up a little bit with that. What if we brought Mitch Kupchak in? What if we got Mitch Kupchak to come in and be the GM and head of player development and also be another bridge to the NBA? What would that look like? Do you think Hubert would be open to that? I mean, that's a big name. That's a guy that's
well, look at it like this. Again, that takes me back to changes.
Yeah.
That Hubert knows that he has to make changes.
Yeah.
And that is one of the changes. You have to get a GM.
Yeah.
I think he knows that.
But that's this stuff. Tar Heel. He played at Carolina. And he is the GM of GMs. You know what I mean? He's a Jerry West at West Virginia level higher if they go get Mitch Kupchak. You know what I mean? He was involved in Kobe and the Lakers and the Clipper rebuild. That guy, his resume and the people that he has in his Rolodex, that's like the football team getting Bill Belichick,
There you go. There you go. So again, with things like that happening, because there's other targets out there that you could actually bring in for the GM position. I've heard names like George Karl. I've heard Larry Brown. Mm-hmm. I've heard Jawad Williams. I've heard George Lynch. I've even heard Jerry Stackhouse. And as far as people that you could bring in for in the GM position.
Who would you prefer? Who would you want?
Woo!
That's a big position. And again, I hate to give these guys credit, but I'm with you. I don't hate them as much as everybody else. But what Grant Hill's done for USA basketball as a Duke alum, I would be scared if he went to work for Duke. They're already legit and don't seem to have these lulls like we do. But I think a GM in the family could change the way the landscape at Carolina looks. Who would you want if that was the case? Because I would want Mitch.
So I got two that I like, and I ain't gonna lie, because I'm still on Instagram Live. I see my guy Rob. Hey Rob, join the YouTube, or I'll send you the link if you want to join the show, bro. Real solid guy right there, Graham. He's an actual official referee.
Rob, come talk to this guy. Come help me talk to this guy, man. Come on, I need some backup.
Rob, Graham wants you to come, man. I'm gonna send you a invite, bro, so that you can join the show. I'll send you an invite right quick. Give me 1 second. Hold on, Graham. Let me send Rob an invite right quick.
All right, for sure.
Let's see. What we got? My guy Rob is gonna be in the building. I got Graham on the show. Boy, I tell you, we got some big guests in the building today. That's what's up.
Man.
I'm with it.
You got to raise your bar if you think I'm a big guest, but I'll take it.
I'm a
friend. I'm a
Don't
buddy.
do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. I'm not gonna let you do that to yourself.
I feel bad. My Carolina mug is dirty. I'm drinking out of my Cracker Barrel coffee mug. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready this morning.
Hey, it is what it is. Rob, I sent you the link, man. So whenever you want to join. So the two that I have in mind.
All right.
I like Mitch.
Okay.
I like Mitch, but I like Lynch.
George Lynch?
I like George Lynch.
What is George Lynch doing these days? I have no idea. I mean, obviously he's qualified in the college realm and had an extreme amount of success in the NBA. So I would imagine his Rolodex pretty deep as well.
Exactly.
But do you know what he's doing? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, so Lynch has like I think he's running like a development, like AAU type program thing that he has going on and everything. Like Lynch is still heavy. Like he's close friends with the Bansas. Like he's still doing his thing. I actually had Lynch on the show about a couple months ago now or whatever. But I had him on the show. He came on the show and we discussed some things or whatever. And I mean, I mentioned it to him. But
what do you think the general consensus of former players is on Hubert? So, like, is George Lynch on board? Like, hey, man, he's our guy. Just give him time. I know this year's tough, but we're going to turn the corner. Or do you think former players are like, hey, yo, bro, now, you know, the team down the street not having this roller coaster level of success and failure? Like, well, we gotta get on solid ground. Like, what do you think the former players are saying? I know one former player, and I can't say his name because he swore me to secrecy, that publicly says, I'm all in, it's going to work out, blah, blah. And then he calls me, he's like, man, we got to get rid of this guy.
So I got some players too. Or whatever. Some players are not on board.
The guy I was talking about on board. He's like, I love him, but he's got to go. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah. I got some. I know because I talk to a lot of these guys, like I really do or whatever. But I'm like,
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
But, there's some that are not on board, and then you have some that are on board.
Okay, so it's fragmented, both sides. Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, again, and the thing is the changes. It goes back to the changes. Like,
I wish we would have made it. Again, everyone says this in life, but I just wish we would have made some of these changes before this happened.
Yeah.
You know, you hate to look back and be like, oh, we were forced to make changes instead of being proactive and being like, man, I invested in Apple before it hit. Like guys that are investing in Apple now, well, yeah, the return is like whatever. But if you got in early, you hit. And so I feel like now we're like covering up. We're putting Band-Aids on scars right now.
So I'll use an analogy, right? I'll use the analogy of driving a stick shift.
Okay.
When you first get in the car, you turn the key and it's like, wait a minute, the car ain't starting.
Yeah.
Well, that's because number one, you got to press in the clutch. You got to press the clutch in first to start the car. But then as you driving, in order for the car to change gears, you got to press in the clutch or whatever. And to eventually, like if you don't press in the clutch and stuff, the car is going to stall out, things like that, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, the more and more that you keep going at it and learning how to drive a stick shift, once you learn how to drive it, it's one of the best things ever. Like, you know how to switch the gears. You know, when you sitting at the light, put it in neutral. Like, you know all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's been going on. I think that's what's been going on. And I think because of the fact that Hubert's mentality is to continue to keep doing things the Carolina way and traditionally doing things the Carolina way, can't fault him for that. But at the same time, it's knowing and recognizing that the landscape of college basketball has changed.
Yeah.
And now you can't just go in there with the traditional type mindset. You got to also go in there with a purse or a bag.
Why do you think Duke has had it figured out so well, where the consistency for that program, following up a legend like, I don't being John Shire had to be tough. Being Hubert Davis has to be tough. You know, following up these legends and not having the missteps that Carolina has had. Why do you think that they've been able to figure it out and we haven't?
So, for two reasons. Number one, John Shire was one of the main recruiters at Duke when Coach K was there.
Okay.
So he has that recruitment mindset.
Right.
Like he has that like a lot of the players that came into Duke came because of John Shire locking them in. Number two, they've had a GM for so long.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we don't have is a GM.
Yeah,
and when
that
you got
will
a head
change.
coach,
That's going to change soon. Yeah,
that's the reason why I say you got to. It goes back to those changes. It goes back to those changes. Like, and I think that because what I've learned is, and what I've heard was, a lot of the players, because Hubert has the mindset of being traditional and doing things the Carolina way. A lot of guys, when they was trying to get them in the portal and things like that, instead of them coming to Hubert or Hubert going to them like this, like, hey, let's do things traditional way, a lot of them was going like this. What are you going to pay me?
Sure.
And
that's not changing.
That, right.
That's not changing.
And that was his mentality in the beginning. Hubert's thing was, I don't want to. We're North Carolina. We don't pay to play.
He's going to have to change that.
The reason why you come here is because of the name on the front of the jersey. We don't pay to play, and that's what has put him behind the 8 ball, I guess you could say, to where it's like now,
it seems so short-sighted. Yeah, it seems so short-sighted. Like the sales pitch, if you feel that way, should be like, hey, this is Carolina. We're going to have 28 nationally televised games, and NBA scouts will be able to see those games and not have to fly to Chapel Hill. You're going to have more opportunity to be evaluated by, wherever you want to go. It just seems like a very short-sighted pitch to a kid that's like, hey, I want to get paid. Well, yeah, of course, as you should. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I'm owed money from my days at Appalachian State. Like, there's got to be about $200 around in NIL money that I earned. I earned that $200. And I want my money. I want my $200. I earned that.
Like like JG Wentworth. It's my money and I want it now, right?
That's right. That's right. You pay me my money. I would have been lighting up the subways in Boone with like the bun sub special for sure.
Right. Exactly. So,
all right. So where are you at? Roundabout. You're 1 through 10. Where are you at on the Hubert? Are you a 0? Or are you like, okay, you want him back. You want him back. 10. You're a 10 out of 10. You want him back.
He deserves it. Okay.
Got you. All right. I'm in. I'm not pushing back. I got you.
He deserves it because, like I tell people all the time, and like JC Bigsaw just said in the chat, first time coach, and the stuff that Hubert Davis has done, I think he's done pretty well. He's just still learning on the job. Right. So to me,
big shout out to JC, man. I'm trying to respond to some of this stuff. You're the man, whoever JC Bigsaw is. I got to figure out where he is and follow him.
He's one of my my moderators. I made him a moderator. So like, I don't have a big super chat like that just yet, Graham, because a lot of
you will. Like, you're a star in the making. I can see it. I'm investing early, baby. I'm getting on the train. Pause, but like, I like the studio. You doing it over there, and you're doing it in a down year. That's very challenging.
Yeah, and I started it during the off season when I didn't have. I started the whole pod during the off season when I didn't have. We was missing on bigs and the portal, like. So I started at the perfect time, and it just
you're doing good, man. I love it. I love it, man. I'm proud of you.
So I think, like I said, I think he deserves it. Like when we go back and we look at Roy Williams and Dean Smith's when they first started out as head coaches, Coach K, all of them, every coach just went through it, right? Yeah. First 4, 5,
except for 6. Shire, it drives me crazy.
but that's a different era. So
it's a different. Well, this is Hubert's era.
Yeah, but at the same time, once again, John Shire did majority of the recruiting at Duke. So
no, I get it. I get it. I know that you got a rebuttal for everything, but I'm just saying it's the same era. Shire didn't struggle the way Hubert's struggling, and they're only 1 year removed from each other. So, like, I just want us to figure it out. Like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, but no, and honestly, Shire struggled last season.
What did they? They went to the Elite Eight.
Listen, they still had an unsuccessful season. A lot of people.
I'll take. I'll take Elite Eight. Like, what would you give for an Elite Eight trip right now?
You know why? You know why it was unsuccessful? And this is coming from Duke fans and people like that, or whatever the case may be, right? The reason why it was unsuccessful was because, number one, they didn't get a 1 seed. They didn't win the ACC regular season. They didn't win the ACC championship. They lost to Carolina twice.
Yeah, I love that. It's very nice.
Every year, Duke gets at least 2, maybe 3 of those things. Every year.
Yeah.
So you could have went to the Elite Eight, but was your season actually successful? Yeah, it was successful if you want to say but I mean, we went to the Elite Eight. But the things that we pick up on, that we know Duke to be, regular season champs, ACC champs, number 1 seed in the tournament, beating Carolina at least.
They're about to get all 3 of those. They're about to get all 3 of those this year.
The regular season they're gonna get. ACC tournament, it's up in the air to me, and I do not think that they're gonna win a national championship.
Okay, I'm on board with the Natty. I think it's going to be challenging for the Natty. I mean, I'm on these teams like Auburn and Houston, even Baylor at times, just straight dogs. And like, so you get that in the right. I don't know. Push comes to shove, where Duke's going to be at the end of the season when it comes to toughness, because they do lean on freshmen so heavily. But Con Knippel and Cooper Flagg are both really tough and mature players. So we'll see. Who do you think is the biggest threat to them for the ACC tournament championship, though? Because I just don't see it.
For the ACC
Clemson?
Championship, the biggest threat. There's a few.
You said you said you're not so sure they're going to win the ACC tournament. So, like, who would you say is the biggest threat to them?
I think even though they've beaten Wake Forest already, I still think Wake Forest is a threat. I think NC State can be still a threat, even though they only beat them by 10, which they should have blew State out. Yeah. I think if Louisville is on fire right now.
Man, what a hire by Louisville. Pat Kelsey.
Yeah.
He's got to be coach of the year. He's got to be ACC coach of the year. Holy cow.
They're going to give it to Shire.
No way. Louisville won, 4 games? They won 4 quad 1 games over the last 2 years, and they've won 9 already this year.
Louisville will have to win the ACC tournament.
They're 9-1. I think they're 9-1 in the conference, though. Those guys. All right, well, we'll see. We'll circle back. You might be buying me a beer on that one. You might be sending me a.
They go give it to Shire, man. They go give it to Shire.
All right, I got a cold one on that. I'm gonna put you to the test. I'm pushing in a cold one. I'm gonna bet that they're gonna give it to Pat Kelsey.
Okay. We'll see. Now here's my thing. Let me ask you this.
All right. Okay.
Because this is a tricky question, and make sure you watch how you answer it. All right, because it's a tricky question, but I'm gonna break it down.
I appreciate the disclaimer. All right, it is early for me out here.
So, who wins the National Player of the Year?
Cooper Flagg.
Then Duke.
It's either him or Janai Broom.
Okay, if you had to pick one, who wins it?
I think they give it to Cooper Flagg.
Then Duke won't win a national championship.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Guaranteed.
Because it just never happens. Yeah. Well, I don't want either one of those things to happen. I don't want to hate on Cooper. I've also know people that know Cooper and say he's the nicest kid ever. But I would much prefer the National Player of the Year play for Carolina.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But
yeah,
whoever the National Player of the Year is, their team never wins the national championship. The last
who do you think's going to win it?
They're gonna give it to Janai Broome.
You're gonna. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, Auburn's really good. Bruce Pearl, man, he's turned out to be a really good coach.
He has, but I don't trust Bruce Pearl in March.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, there's not many coaches that you like automatically trust. Do you trust Hubert in March?
Yes.
Okay.
Bruce Pearl. I mean,
you've only seen it. You've only seen it once, but.
Well, I mean, listen, I've seen it. I've seen it twice because I mean,
twice.
Listen, that was a nice
that Alabama game. Yeah, that Alabama game got away from us. I love Armando. I missed him. That missed dunk. He makes that dunk down the stretch to put us up 5 with I think it was 90 seconds left. We win that game, and I know he was down on himself for that, and that happens. But as someone that doesn't jump very high, I was like, man, I was at the game. Zach and I went. I was like, man, just lay the ball in, bro. Just lay it in.
Yeah. So, but the last player to win a national championship and national player of the year was Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good pull. And again, was that against us?
I don't think. That wasn't. Was that against us?
I mean, he beat us one year for sure. They went back to back, I think.
That might have been 2016, 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but that's a good stat. So you think Broome's going to get it? Do you think Flagg is in the conversation?
I mean, they're going to put him in it because he's been in the conversation before the season started.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But to me, I tell anybody this, I don't see what everybody else sees in Cooper Flagg. I don't. Like Cooper Flagg doesn't wow me.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, Drake Powell going up to get a block shot with 2 hands or whatever. That's a wow to me. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think people look at Cooper Flagg and just his ability to do multiple, affect the game in multiple facets. I think he was at one point in time, he might still be leading them in the 5 major categories: rebounding, assists, blocks, and steals and points. I think all 5 of those, he leads the team. So I think, they look at, if you were to use Drake Powell, wow factor, going up and just grabbing people's stuff off the backboard with 2 hands and starting to break. But, Cooper's got some dunks and can stretch the floor and handles the ball really well. It's got a great body, paws, 6'10", all of that. So we'll see.
That's the only reason why Cooper is in the conversation. If you ask me, Ace Bailey is the better player.
Ace Bailey is tough, and he's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, he just hit 37 a couple nights ago, and everybody's talking about Cooper is generational talent and this and that and the third. Well, what about Ace Bailey?
The other guy, the other kid, Dylan Harper. The other kid he's the problem too.
That's my point. And this is something that I mentioned to the Duke people that I know, all my guys or whatever, big shout out to them. Love the guys to death, man. But this is something that I presented to them. I said, right now, Cooper Flagg is in the conversation. He's in the conversation with Janai Broome, Ace Bailey, possibly Dylan Harper, and some other players out there as far as possibly being the national player of the year. If you take 3 players off of Duke's team, that gives Cooper more responsibility for him to be able to really, really showcase his game to where now it puts him in a unanimous player of the year conversation, if you ask me. And they sat back and they thought about it I
gotta read this comment from JC Big Saw, man. This guy. You put John Shire at Louisville or Clemson or any other of those schools, he's not doing what he's doing. Trust me, it's the Duke system. It was already in place for John. All right, JC Big Saw off the top rope.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. That's what I tell people.
I love this guy. I love this
guy. Big shout out to JC in the chat, man. JC is on one today. He's definitely on one today, man. Yeah, so I'm. Like I said, bro, I don't think you fire Hubert. You can't fire Hubert.
Yeah. Okay.
And And
but you think we're gonna have a big offseason though? We're not firing Hubert, but you firmly believe that the offseason there's gonna be a lot of movement in some way, shape, or form.
I don't think I know.
Okay, hey, even better. I'll let you elaborate on whatever you want or don't want to, but I love hearing that we're not going to just go into next year the way we're going into this year, because the results have not been great for us.
Right. There's a lot of players that Hubert and the staff have talked to.
Okay.
Like heavy.
But even outside of roster structure, because I do believe that they'll take big swings. But I just meant from an institutional and structural standpoint that Carolina basketball might look differently next year. You think GM in place, maybe the staff doesn't look exactly the same. Like, do you think any of that changes? Maybe some teams, maybe some of the staff's roles change. Maybe we add staff. Like, do you think it'll look any different?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
All right, that's awesome. That gives me hope, because they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So, like, if we change some things, then I'll feel hopeful.
I mean, when you sit back and think about it, they have no choice.
Like, well, I feel that way, but I don't trust myself.
Yeah, but Hubert has no choice.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from a fan aspect, he has no choice. Do you think that Hubert sits back and say, "Yo, we're gonna do this the same. I'm not doing no GM. I'm not changing no staff, and I'm gonna still try and go out here and get players and stuff or whatever." And knowing that with the season that he's having now, that it's gonna be his job is gonna be secure.
I mean, I hope not. I hope not. But I fear that's the case. I've been told that he is a stubborn guy in the nicest way possible. So, like, if that stubbornness is like, oh, no, like, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way. I don't want to do it this way. You never know what someone's core values are and what they might be against. So I hope he feels like he needs to make some changes.
Lee Roberts and Bubba Cunningham have no problem getting rid of a Hall of Famer coach. What makes people think they ain't going to have a problem getting rid of Hubert Davis?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
It's not really all his decision. Agreed.
Agree.
A lot of say so as well. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Agree.
So it changes. And if just look at it from the football side, like, if they made and put the money into the football side of things for the football program to be mentioned in these conversations as far as top football teams.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure that they're going to put money into the basketball, because the basketball is what has kept this university what it is, not football.
Oh, agreed.
So you can't put money in
and women's soccer.
And not put it in.
We ball out in women's soccer. We ball out.
And baseball. Yeah. So, but
for
basketball.
Basketball is all I watch. So.
Exactly. So, I mean, listen, we haven't had all of them legends come through UNC for nothing. They didn't.
Yeah.
If you don't make the changes, then it defeats the purpose of all of the legends that have came through there and put their name and their stain, or not stain, but their mark on the university. It would be disrespectful to them because of the work and everything and the sacrifices that they made to make the program what it is today.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. I got in that conversation the other day. One of the reasons my expectations are not the bubble is because of all of those honored jerseys in the rafters. There's just so many people that have worked for so many years to build up a standard that, one, for someone like me, who I grew up on Tobacco Road, was born on Tobacco Road, and now my life has moved me away from North Carolina. The most North Carolina thing that you have when you don't live in North Carolina is being a Carolina Tar Heel. So, like, I get it. Both my parents graduated from NC State, and sometimes they lose focus of that. I'm like, yeah, but you guys live in North Carolina and you stayed in North Carolina. So, like, when you tell people that you're a Wolfpack fan, which is totally cool, like, of course, do your thing.
Right.
But when you live in Los Angeles or you live in New York and you're walking around with a Carolina hoodie on, even if it's not in the script, people are like, oh, Tar Heels. And you're like, yeah, you damn right. Like it's a source of pride. It's like a state thing. And so when you're away from the state and you're away from like your roots and you see something that you love so much struggling, it's painful to go through. And we've been through it twice in 3 years now, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
But we can turn it around Saturday when we get this win in Cameron. We're gonna get this win.
That's we're gonna be optimistic. We gonna be optimistic and say that we're gonna get the win for sure. For sure. I'm gonna always be optimistic. But at the same time, I because of the fact that I'm a realist, I also sit back and I say I ain't gonna get my hopes up too high.
My brother-in-law, who I love to death, was like, they're going to beat us by 20, 85-65. And that defeated me. My heart I was like, damn. Can't take that, man. That's brutal. That's brutal. And then my phone does not stop ringing. And I don't call, when Carolina wins, we won. We beat Duke twice last year. I didn't call not one Duke fan. Hey, man, it's not. I'll call all my Carolina fans. But when we lose to Duke, my phone will not stop buzzing. Like if for 24 hours, I'll get 100 text messages from people just rubbing it in my face. So I'm not looking forward to it.
I'll say this. To get the best results for things to come, give it 2 more seasons. If you want the best
I might be dead in 2 seasons. I might die in a car wreck before that.
The reason why I say that is because let's be honest.
Okay.
We don't know, even though we got Lombardi and we got Bill Belichick or whatever on football, right?
Yep.
The first season is going to be a stepping stone, a test for the program.
The football team.
Season, yes, for the football team.
Yeah.
The second season is where you're going to really start seeing the results of everything.
Agreed.
So if you're looking at that from the basketball side of things, next year we'll get the GM, you'll get the players, things like that or whatever. But you won't see to see the best results. You're gonna have to wait until that following season, because then the GM will be done had a year to actually get acclimated.
But my expectation for the changes aren't Natty or Final Four, but I firmly expect to not be on the bubble next year. Like I feel like
next season is going to be so exciting.
All right. Exciting. As long as we're not on the bubble, man. I don't like living on the bubble. The bubble's not for me. I was in college and my bubble burst on the selection show, so I have a disdain for the bubble.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like being on the bubble either, because I mean it's North Carolina. We're the laughing stock right now. Everybody's picking on us. The media's talking about us. Like, so we got to take what comes with it. Like, like one thing that people always say, you can always when we praise somebody, we're all in. But when you start bashing and things like that, now it causes disruption and everybody is all over the place. Yeah, get rid of Hubert, and the players is not doing what they supposed to do. Get rid of members on the staff, and I mean it's just all over the place. And guess what the fans and these people are doing? What they are doing is these other media folks hear that, and it's a narrative that they say, you know what? Let's run with it. Because let's be honest, a lot of people hate North Carolina.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people.
Well, people
same way they hate
envy and hate go hand in hand. So yeah.
So with the ones, and because that was one of the things that I was going to talk about today, as far as some of these media platforms, and not UNC based, or anything like that. But some of these other bigger media platforms, the Field of 68, Sleepers Media. Sorry, Riley, but I got to call it like it is. But when they speak on North Carolina, Jeff Goodman never has anything positive to say about North Carolina.
Man, he's been crushing us. He's been crushing us.
So, but in order to shut the people like Jeff Goodman up, that we as the fans have to stop giving them ammunition. Stop giving them ammunition because
but that's not going to happen. Yeah, but that's not going to happen, bro. That's not going to happen. You know, guys, the fan base is active. Like, you can't take people in slices. They're rabid fans. I'm a rabid fan. Like, I don't want to see us struggle, and you get frustrated. It's going to happen. Like, that's, you know, like you said, we have to be realistic of where we're at. And the fan base, any fan base, but ours that has achieved such success is not going to handle this level of disappointment continually well. It's going to be fan fodder until probably the end of next year. We're gonna have to have a full good year. Now, the Duke game is so big that if we win this game, that's going to give a lot of leash. And I think a lot of people are like, all right, well, we beat Duke. It's like the Ohio State-Michigan game. Like, all right, Michigan beat Ohio State. So, like, they're like, all right, well, the year wasn't a complete failure. We beat Ohio State. So we'll see.
But the thing is, knowing these UNC fans, and it's going to be the UNC fans, and some of these media guys, right? Like, even though if we beat Duke, they're going to say, yeah, Carolina, they got lucky or whatever, but there's still problems going on. They still won't make the tournament. They're having communication issues. There is no leadership. Like, the guys,
and they'd be right though. But they'd be right. They'd be right by that.
But some of them have they don't really have a place to speak on anything.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. But those are all, like, those conversations are being had in the ethos, like, you know, like you and I are having that conversation.
I'll give you a prime example. And once again, like, and I don't know the guys. I don't know them like that. Yeah. But I listen to their podcast like a lot, and even on just different topics. Not even when it's just UNC, but just on different topics. But my guy Riley Davis, big shout out to Riley Davis, man. Like, his close friends are the guys at Sleepers Media. He's on there every week with them. Greg, Carter, Dion, all of that, right?
Yeah.
They never have anything positive to say about UNC, right?
Yeah.
Now, throughout the whole offseason, going into the season, they talked about Caleb Wilson being one of their favorite players. Like, he's one of the best players in the class, and he's one of my favorite players in the recruiting class, and this and that and the third. Now, because of the fact that he committed to North Carolina, they bash him.
Yeah. Okay. Him. Well, that's not. Yeah. I can see where that would rub you the wrong way.
Yeah. And I love Riley to death. Like, Riley is my guy. Like JC just said, Riley, you need to speak up, right? I agree with that, because Riley lets them get away with a lot of stuff. Riley, I got to admit it. If you're watching this, if you end up seeing this, I got to admit it. You let them get away with a lot of stuff. Now, they had a bet about Caleb Wilson going to either Kentucky or North Carolina. If he commits to Kentucky, then Dion had to eat a butter dog. That's a stick of butter and a hot dog bun. Riley had to eat one. So
gotcha.
If he went to North Carolina, then Dion had to eat one, right? Caleb Wilson commits to UNC. They talked about it being on the episode, that it was going to be live when they do it. That way the Carolina fans and all of that will be able to see it, because they know how the fans and UNC fans feel about them on Sleepers Media. We ain't seen it yet.
Yeah.
We ain't seen, like, you can't come on the show and say, hey, I'm gonna still live up to the bet and everything, but I just want to make sure with my doctor as far as my cholesterol and all of that and stuff. But you didn't say all of that before all of this happened. Like,
got you.
And Riley let him off the hook. And I told Riley about that. I was like, Riley, you let him off the hook too much, bro. Like, I know them your guys, them your friends, they're your best friends. I know that or whatever. It's a big platform. But at the same time, like, bro, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I love Riley, man. I love Riley to death, man. Like, he's off the chain. He's solid, really good guy. And, I mean, he's been on the show a couple of times and the whole 9 or whatever. But you got to speak up for us UNC fans, because if you don't, then they're going to continue to do what they do.
Yeah, I get you. All right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really my only thing or whatever. But as far as the fire, because it's not just Hubert, they talking about firing Forbes from Wake Forest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, and that's the way it's going to be. I think I sent something to you yesterday. It was like the top 10 coaches that are on the hot seat. Hubert was number 10.
Yeah. But Steve Forbes right now is the best thing that has happened to Wake Forest since Skip Prosser.
Yeah.
You go fire him or whatever. They
rest in peace, Skip Prosser. He was great.
Yeah, but they thought Danny Manning was going to be great. And what did he do?
Yeah.
Like,
got up out of there.
But you want to talk about firing the man. Like,
yeah.
What? Kevin Keat just got an extension or whatever. NC State fans who are lunatics, they're jumping out there right now still talking about fire Kevin Keats. Y'all just won the ACC championship last season or whatever and went to the Final Four, and you talking about firing the man?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? Like, it's crazy. And a lot of these people just do this type of stuff or whatever because it's clicks. It's clicks and views for them. Like, but at the same time, you're I don't want to use the word defame, but you're bashing someone.
Yeah,
like,
it's in that realm. It's in the same community as defamation.
Exactly. And you just
not exactly defamation, but it's down the street. Like you see him on the way to work.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my only thing when it comes to this or whatever. I just want people, like, it's nasty work. I don't rock that way. Like, I'm not gonna sit up and say fire anybody or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's tough because I've definitely not performed in a job when I really, really wanted to perform and just didn't go my way. And like, I wouldn't want somebody being like, man, get rid of him. You know what I mean? So I get that. I get that.
But I do believe in being fair, and I do also believe in taking actions if needed. For instance,
actions needed for sure.
Yeah, for instance, the whole Florida situation with Todd Golden, like the whole and then something came out about his assistant doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
But, like, no suspension, no nothing from Florida or whatever. Now I guarantee you, if Florida wasn't
winning cures all. Winning cures all. Like,
there you go.
Winning cures
Same
all.
thing that happened at Alabama. You got a kid that goes out there and murdered somebody or whatever. Your star player was involved in it. And what did Alabama do? What did Nate Oates do? They did nothing.
Man, nothing. Yeah. The worst part of that, and it, the worst part of that was when they did the introductions and they patted him down for a gun. I was like, man, now you just throwing gas on a fire. Don't do that. Like, let that go. That was terrible. I couldn't believe that. So, but anyway, all right, man, I gotta jump. But this was awesome, dude. Thanks for letting me come and hang, man. Chop it up. Go Hills.
For sure, bro. For sure. Like I said, man, we gonna set some things up. I definitely would love to come over and chop it up with you and Zach, man. Like, y'all.
Man, we'd love to have you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, man. You just you let me know. And I mean, we'll make it happen for sure, bro. Like, it's nothing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna be out of it. Tomorrow I'm gonna be. One thing, the last thing I'll ask, and I haven't noticed it, and I don't know if it's because Carolina is we're having a down year. Usually Duke Week, ACC Network plays all the great Carolina Duke games. I haven't seen that this year. Am I just missing it? Like, I'll turn the ACC Network on to try to catch like some of the all-time great games, and I haven't seen that. I feel like Duke Week has been a little quiet this year.
So you talk about as far as the ACC network showing Duke games, or
no? So usually when Carolina plays Duke, that entire week, all the greatest games like the Jeff Cable half court shot and the Stackhouse reverse dunk on Cherokee Parks, Jay Williams game, like JJ Redick hits the three, or all of the iconic games usually they're played all week long, and I haven't seen it, so I'm like, oh man, I hope the rivalry's not dying.
You know what? I haven't seen any either. Now, that's not saying that they might not be on the CW network.
Okay, they could be. They could. But I used to love that. I used to enjoy watching all those old games. Like I'm terrible. Usually I get no work done because I'm like, I remember this game. Let me watch this.
Yeah. I get what you said. Like, yeah, I haven't seen any either. And normally they do show some, but I haven't seen none. So that's a good question, though. We gotta find out what's going on.
Yeah, look into that. Maybe towards the end of the year, maybe before the Dean Dome game.
For sure. Yes, sir. Graham, I appreciate.
All right, brother.
Like,
I'll text you. I'll text you tomorrow before the game, man. Go Heels.
Go Heels. Go Heels for sure.
All right.
Be safe out there,
brother. Yep.
All right, bro. My guy Graham Bunn, y'all. That's gotta appreciate. Matter of fact, let me make sure I do this right quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I do this. The round of applause, man, for Graham, y'all. Round of applause, man, for stopping through. My guy Graham just stopped through for sure, man. Like, that's what's up. Like, it's always good to be able to chop it up, man, with Carolina fans and all of that. Like, it's always good to be able to do that, man. Let me get to some of these comments, because y'all been going hard in the comments, man, for sure. Let's see what we got here. I know that I'm running a little bit behind, y'all, but I gotta let me scroll back up here a little bit. Ace is a better player. JC Big Saw, I agree with you. Absolutely. He is a better player than Cooper Flagg for sure. What is that? JC also said, absolutely, Hubert would get the ball rolling this season. Right here is going to light a fire under Hubert Davis, and not hot seat, but just a competitiveness. Absolutely. JC, you solid, bro. My guy. Hey, I got a question, JC. Aren't you in the Discord? If I'm not mistaken, aren't you in the Discord? Because you're supposed to follow me on the gram, bro. Like, I told you to follow me on the gram because I have a group chat for all my mods. I got a group chat with all my mods. So you got to follow me on the gram so I can add you, bro. Or if you are following me, like, DM me so that I'll know exactly who you are and everything. That way I can add you to the mod group chat. Of course, there's some other mods that wasn't in here, whatever. We're gonna get this mod thing going. Ryan Ivy, appreciate you joining, my guy. I had the same thing when I lived in Denver. Thankfully, I am back home in NC. Our brand carries across the globe. 1,000%. 1,000%. By the way, speaking of that, make sure, Ryan, I'm glad you said that, because make sure y'all go over on Instagram and on YouTube and subscribe to my guy Neil's Heel Hustle UNC channel. Heel Hustle UNC on Instagram or whatever. Like, Neil is in Oregon, so he's gonna be like the West Coast UNC podcast. He's under the 94 feet of UNC brand. And, you know, we extending this thing, man. Like Ryan just said, our brand carries across the globe. So make sure y'all go and subscribe to his channel, follow him on Instagram, man, for sure. Jason Evans, I'm predicting a UNC win this weekend because BC and Wheat played them close. Y'all can win the game. I think we can win the game. It's just going to be a very, 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 very tough one. And you a UK fan, but big shout out to you for being here, my guy. Like, much love, support. I appreciate you for sure. I appreciate you. Let's see what else we got. Play for you, but David, that's crap. Let's see. Jason also said, as a UK fan, we envy no one. We don't hate UNC. We don't like y'all, but we hate Duke. That's a fact. Listen, I got some Duke fans or whatever that talk about y'all all the time. How much y'all are crybabies and everything, Jason. So that's a fact. Y'all definitely hate Duke, and they hate y'all. They really do. Like, I did not know that. Y'all need to play each other every year. Y'all definitely need to play each other every year. The way that the stuff, and I be like in the middle, like caught in the crossfire. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I'm a blue blood too, but let me back out of this a little bit. Don't put me in this. But yeah, Duke and Kentucky hate each other. I did not know it was that big. I did not know that was that big. Let's see. Ian Jackson. JC said he think Ian Jackson would be the best player on the court tomorrow night. Book it. I believe so. I think he's going to be one of the best players on the floor tomorrow night. For sure. Jason also said UNC is one big man away from being dangerous. Real talk. That's a fact. That's a fact. One big man away. One big man away. Yeah, Jason. Sorry about that, bro. We had to get him, though. We had to get him. Caleb Wilson is a monster. We wanted him bad. Yeah, sorry about that, bro. We had to get that, though. But listen, y'all got Jasper. Y'all got a Caden. Y'all got Malachi. Like, y'all got some guys, man, for sure. Out of all three of them, though, give me Jasper all day. All day. I was a little upset when Jasper went to Kentucky. I thought he was coming to Carolina. I really did. But listen, you can't win them all. Can't win them all. What else we got? JC said 94 feet. We're going to have a lot of people mad tomorrow. Duke has more pressure on them than we do. That's a fact. That's a fact. I didn't think about that one, JC. That's a big one right there, dog. That's a big one. Yes, JC, please do. Please get that done so that I can add you in the mod chat for sure. Like, try and get that done as soon as you can, bro, because that's where I keep up with all of my mods and stuff like that and let them know what's going on and things like that and you know, as we move forward with things or whatever. So please get that done as soon as you can, my guy, for sure. Wait a minute, JC, hold on now, my guy. You put 1K on the heels to get it done tomorrow? Hey, listen, man. Like, you want to donate? You want to be a sponsor or something for 94 feet? Like, I can send you my Cash App. Like, you can send me a 1K, dog. Like, I turn around, put it right back into the business, make some things happen, get some merch and all of that. Like, listen, man, if you want to do something like that, like, man, listen, I ain't gonna do nothing like that now, JC. Not no 1K. But hey, I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you. But and listen, I'll drop my Cash App if you want it. But you can send me 1K for sure. I can get me some merch, get some merch printed up, man, so I can get some stuff out to y'all or whatever. For sure. But that's what's up, dog. That's what's up. I ain't mad at you. Let's see. What else we got going on? What else we got? Let's see. JC said, what is hurting us? We don't get a lot of easy baskets, and that comes from not having a post guy. That's a fact. I've said that several times. As a matter of fact, JC, like I said, aren't you in the Discord? I think you're in the Discord, dog. Like, for sure. But I've said that in the Discord, but them guys seem to not want to listen to me in the Discord like that. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But they want to think otherwise. I just don't get it. But yes, when you got someone, look at it from last year. Look at the prime example last year. Armando Bacot drew so much attention that it opened up the paint for RJ and Elliott to penetrate and get to the basket. That's a fact. So, you know, that you dead on with that one. Dead on. Dead on. Oh, okay. Absolutely 1K. I'm rolling with you, my guy. I'm a professional gambler. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. I ain't mad at you. I am not mad at you. I am not mad at you. Yes, that's a fact, JC. I understand this rivalry, man. You could throw all the records out the door. That's a fact. Big facts. Big facts. Throw all the records out the door. It means nothing when North Carolina and Duke play. Means nothing. All right. So that's oh, hold on. There are haters, 94 feet. Oh, they are haters. Oh, I'm tripping. 94 feet. JC, call me Zell, bro. Like, yeah, you ain't gotta say 94 feet. Call me Linzel or Zell. Like, either one. That's cool. You ain't gotta do 94 feet, my guy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it though. But they are haters, 94 feet. It's all good, champ. We are the best program in the country. It comes with the territory. Big facts. Big facts. Big facts. That's a big fact right there, bro. For sure. Listen, man. I go Heels. Listen, I appreciate everybody, man, for joining for sure. Like this was really good today. Like this is something different, something new that I wanted to do. I hadn't done a show here in a while. Like I said, been working on some things behind the scenes, building this network. We got a lot more shows that are coming. I mean, a lot more podcast shows that are coming. Make sure that y'all be in tune and stay locked in or whatever, because we got the 100 Yards of UNC podcast is coming within another week or so with the host Denarius Cersei and Terrence Newby. Guys getting ready to do some big things, which is also under the 94 feet brand, the network that I've put together. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Make sure y'all go and follow Denarius and Newbie on the gram and everything, and on Twitter and all of that and stuff. I don't know what the channel is on yet for YouTube, but yeah. But make sure y'all go and tap in with them guys, man, because like I said, the 100 Yards of UNC podcast will be out. First episode, I think, drops in a couple weeks. They got some big interviews coming up with some commitments and some alumni players. Got some really, really good interviews coming up, man, that, of course I know about, but I can't put that out there and let y'all know who they are or whatever. But they got some really big interviews coming up, man, for sure. Like I said, with some commitments and some alumni players, things like that. So make sure y'all tap in for sure with them. Make sure. We gonna shock the world tomorrow. Trust me, Zell. Oh, listen, I'm optimistic. I hope we do. I really do hope we do. And JC, just so you know, it's Zell with 2 L's. I just want to make sure you get it right, my guy. I don't want to keep correcting you or anything like that, but it's Zell with 2 L's. So yeah, but nah, you all good, bro. You all good. I appreciate you being a mod. And like I said, once this thing gets bigger, man, this chat is gonna be stupid. This chat gonna be stupid, man. So JC, I'm glad you a part of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I made a great decision making you a mod for sure. So I appreciate you. Ryan said, I got a few more comments real quick. Ryan said, I agreed that stats/records don't matter in this rivalry, but heart and fight do. The thing that scares me is that we haven't shown grit at all this year. Can we flip a switch? Yeah, me and Graham, we talked about that, Ryan. We definitely talked about that, no heart, no fight, no communication, no camaraderie, no nothing within this team, man. And that's one of the big things that is hurting this team. It looks like from looking from the outside in, it looks like it has become a me thing instead of a we thing. So yeah, can we flip the switch? I mean, we've done it before, so I'm not gonna say that that's not possible. We've done it before, but we just have to wait and see. All right, that's a bet, JC. That's a bet, bro. You just let me know. Like I said, DM me so that I'll know for sure. Hey, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you. Matter of fact, let me put this up there. Let me highlight that. I would love to get on the show one day, Zell. I'm going to support. That's what family does. Salute, my guy. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. I love talking to the fans and things like that or whatever. And even on the lives, like I'm gonna start doing some lives on Twitter, some spaces on Twitter. I do my lives on Instagram or whatever almost all the time, and I bring people up, let them kind of come up and express their thoughts and things like that on the team or the games the previous night or the games the day before, whatever the case may be. I might even do another live here later on today. So for sure. All right, so that's yeah, I saw this comment earlier, JC. I played basketball for Hubert Davis' uncle, Herb Davis, at South Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte. That's what's up, bro. So, I mean, yeah. So, you knee deep in the family. You knee deep in the family. You might be a Davis. You never know. For sure. But listen, man, I appreciate everybody for joining. I really do, man. It's been a amazing show today. Of course, again, I want to thank big shout out to my guy Graham Bunn for stopping by briefly to chop it up with me. I got like I said, merchandise and stuff is coming. And if y'all know some sponsors, whatever the case out there, I mean, hey, send them my way. Like I'm always down to look for get some sponsors on board if that's what they're interested, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all know somebody that wants to promote their business or whatever the case may be, like definitely send them my way. That way I can chop it up with them, make sure things is cool and everything. And, you know, we'll go from there. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all or whatever. Like I told y'all, my prediction tomorrow, 78-73 UNC. That's my optimism just kicking in right there, whatever. But I appreciate everybody. I mean, we just gonna do what we got to do, and we're gonna make things happen or whatever. But definitely, once again, like I said, I appreciate everybody for joining. Don't know when the next show is gonna be, but it's coming. So just be on the lookout for that. And until then, it's a great day to be a Tar Heel.
Chapters on the media.